Now let us play a little game. Imagine that you are born blind. What have you missed in life? Please tell me quickly, don't waste time. When you are born blind, what do you miss? Huh? When you are born blind, what do you miss in life? Huh? When you are born blind, you don't see. Correct? And what is that you don't see? You don't see color. Now when you are born blind, I describe to you a very beautiful flower. This orchid is so wonderful. It is white in color, the spots are purple, the center is pink and all these things, and this got some spray of this light green dots. Now you are born blind. Can you imagine how beautiful is the flower? Cannot. And it is because when the eye sees something, what did the eye see? Color. And because the color has got shape, you look at the edge, then you see, guitar shape. Guitar shape, then you know, Sabola. You know already. When you say like a pepper, Olivia. So you miss color. Now one thing of it, you miss the eye, you don't see color. Plus that you are born deaf. What do you mean? Okay. What do you mean? Sound. So what happened is no sound. So two things already. Another thing, when you are born without nose, what do you miss? No smell. When you are born without a tongue, what do you miss? No taste. When you are born with tactile bodies, all your limbs, artificial limbs, what do you miss? Tactile bodies, touch. And when you are born without a brain, what do you miss? No idea, nothing. So now listen. You miss color, you miss sound, you miss smell, you miss taste, you miss touching sensation, and you miss ideas. Where are you now? You do not exist. You do not exist. So if you see that minus these 6 sense doors, you do not exist. You are just like this duster. You do not exist. Can you hear me, duster? Cannot. Can you see me? Also cannot. So we are actually, so because of these 6 sense doors, and the Buddha tells us to watch these component parts of a being. And the component parts of a being, as that day I told you, only mind and matter. And mind and matter, they run. Top, so fast. How fast? Between the snap of 2 fingers, or between the wink of an eye, or between the just a flash of lightning, snap of 2 fingers, the wink of an eye, it travels more than 1 billion times during that little moment. It is so very fast that nobody can see except a Sambuddha. And these things have been going on since the time when we are born, up to one day when we cease to exist. And when we cease to exist, we attain Nibbana. And people who do not understand, wow, when you attain Nibbana means, gua boti liao, saya sudah tada, there's no more me, no more I. You are annihilating the self. We are not annihilating the self. If you understand Buddhism, you see it clearly, wonderfully, that there's no I, no you, no he, no she. Now you have got a body. It comes from where? From your previous karma. When the karma disappears, do you have a body? No body. But where's the mind? It's the mind. It's also controlled, conditioned. Because there's the I, there's the object. Seeing consciousness arises. Don't give me I. When they don't give me I cannot see all of you. So everything that we have is conditioned by a previous existence, which we have got it as energy. Even the words that you are going to use, conditioned. When you are such a cultivated person, you will know how to use the words. And it came from where? From your deep unconscious mind that you have been practicing. Then you are by nature so clean and pure that you can never say, you bloody fool. No such word, bloody fool, exists in your thing. You are so pure, you say, you are a wonderful person. When the husband sees the wife, you are a darling. No such thing as, you stupid fellow. No. All these are conditioned. So like that, we have been accumulating all this energy. And this energy comes from where? Three sources. Physically in your action, verbally in your mouth, mentally in your mind. And of the three things, they are a source of energy. So if you are a good Buddhist, today you develop all the good qualities. You are charitable, you are full of precepts, and you always watch your mind, so develop and cultivate it until there is no more existence of hostile kilesas or mental defilements. No more. When you are no more, you do not know how to use all those evil words anymore. When you have no anger, the wife meets the husband spontaneously, darling, you want anything to eat? Even if the husband comes home with a very sulky face because of the pressure and work, no lah, I don't want lah. Still no anger. He understands. He understands that under pressure, he has said some words that is not very sweet. But the lady does not change. So, by developing ourselves in the Buddhist way of life, we become so pure. And this thing has been going on millions and millions and millions and millions of aeons, not years, aeons. What is an aeon? A world cycle. What is a world cycle? The world form, exists, decay, disappear. And that is called one world system. In time of years, there is no figure. So we have been born again and again. 1 aeon, 2 aeons, countless millions of aeons we have been developing. So much so the Buddha said, there has never been a time that even this little girl in front of me has never been my relative. Probably was my mother, probably was my father when she was a male, probably was my daughter or my son. These four things in the Buddha said. Countless millions of years we have been going on, that it is impossible to meet somebody who had never been a relative. So these things is because of this triple action, physically, verbally and mentally. And we are developing until one day when everything is so pure that we escape rebirth. When you escape rebirth, it means you don't have a body. And when you don't have a body, do you hear evil things? No. Do you hear sweet things? No. Do you smell good things? No. Do you hear all these things? No more. And that is everlasting bliss, because every time when we are born, we are exposed to all the defilements that boil like boiling water. So there's another question that other religious person used to ask. In the beginning, where do you come from? Have you all listened to such things now? In the beginning, where do you come from? Did ever people ask you this sort of question? True or not? How will you answer? The Buddha said, such questions he will not answer. Because if I tell you in the beginning where do I come from an amoeba, then you imagine what is amoeba, where does it come from, how it comes, everything you will find out. But the Buddha said it very clearly. And his way of explaining things is that if I tell you the beginning, you make no progress. You only just take it as a knowledge. But I will tell you this. You are a Bengali wearing a turban. The turban is burning on fire. What is the most important thing that you must do? When the turban is on fire, what must you do? Put out the fire. After putting out the fire, you can ask, hey, where do I come from? Because this is burning. The most important thing is that when the turban is burning, if you delay a bit, means you will burn your head and you will die. So you put out the fire. After putting out the fire, then you ask, where am I born? Where was I from the very beginning? But when you put out the turban, the fire on the turban, you have already answered the question because you saw it. Saw it, what is the cause of existence? It is because of your greed, your hatred, your delusion. And how do you get this? Meditation. And what are people meditating for? To see that reality, absolute reality, that there's no I, no you, no he, no she. You all think existence is fun. Hey, not fun. Not fun. Yes, you have moments of happiness when someone that is dear and near to you, you enjoy moments of dear and near to you people, and you have a little fun. But in between the fun, trouble arises. How? I will tell you. Most of the girls always have a wish. If I marry a very wonderful husband, I'll be very happy. But more often than not, there's a Chinese proverb say, "Xiao gao geng geng to chao geng geng." You can understand, huh? Xiao gao geng, you are very choosy, you will get the rotten fruit. Because a lot of people wants to choose our nice garden. When he's making love, he puts up a false show. He will call you darling here and darling there. And he will tell you, if you don't marry me, I'm going to jump down the Sungai Pinang bridge. I want to kill myself. After marrying you, then you know his true colors. Slightest thing, he is just like the king cobra. So you know, I thought he was a nice person, the way he behaved, a real gentleman. Now I know, slightest thing, anger, slightest thing, anger. So this is a way of life. Let us say you are so lucky that you get the most wonderful person in the whole world. Every month you say, darling, today I've got my pay, here is $2,000, give it lah. Next month, darling, today my payday, give it lah. Then you as a good wife, won't you keep something for yourself? And he will reply, no darling, if I want I'll get from you. I'll open my mouth and say, can you give me $30? Wonderful or not? Very wonderful. But wretched, misery, you do not see. Why you do not see? I will show you. Because he is so good, so wonderful. The whole world you cannot see such a man. When he comes home and see you cooking, he will take the broom and sweep the house. When he see you washing, he will just go to every time when he is free. Darling, admiring at you, talking at you, petting you. Wonderful or not? Very wonderful. Because he is so wonderful. Remember what the Buddha said. All sweet things are impermanent. How? There will come a time, say he is going to Kuala Lumpur for an interview or for some, let us say for a business errand. Then he will say, darling, I'm going to KL tomorrow. What do you like to take? Please tell me what you like to have in KL. Then you as a good wife, I like the Cecil Street bakwa, you know bakwa, dried meat lah. Can you get for me 1 kg? Don't worry darling, I will not get you 1 kg, I will get you 3 kgs. How wonderful lah. Because he is such a wonderful person. But all sweet things are impermanent. Up to Tapa Road, he is a very careful driver, but somebody with a kopi lesson, bang into you. And then you got the worst of it. And you get yourself admitted to Tapa Hospital. And the Tapa Hospital got your address and say, are you so-and-so? Are you Mrs. So-and-so? Yes. Your husband is admitted here. Emergency. And at that moment, tears drop down. You are excited. You do not know what to do. You have not taken your food. You also do not know you have not taken your food. And you are rushing to go there. When you reach there, you see the IV drip, hourly pulse, this thing, that thing all around him, with the leg fracture and the leg hanging high. And tears roll down, and he cannot talk. And you are in such a desperate position because he is so good. And this is the time when, because you are so desperate, I can cheat you as a, not as a monk, as a swindler. I will just tell you, auntie, this is your husband. I've got a special thing. I will do a special ceremony that he will go over this calamity. You will be safe. Can you do it now? Yes. But my fee is $1,200. So you pay $1,200. After chanting, you know what I chant, you also do not know. I probably chant some Indian things, and then say, there you are, and then give me the 1,002. I pocket the 1,002, I disappeared. And 3 days later, died. Are you going to get back the $1,200? No. And what happened? From the frying pan, you have gone into the fire. And at that moment, you as a good wife, there was a case in our Dhamma book. The lady's this dress tight, slip, and the whole thing flopped, and she walked about naked in the whole town, running like mad. And that was Patachara. Naked, running the whole town, because she saw all the loved ones disappear. And she cried and cried. So you can see, the more wonderful, the more danger that you go mad. Now let us put it in another way. You have married a very hopeless person. You have earned a living, and he is also earning his living. But he spends all his money in gambling, and you are paying for the house assessment, you are feeding the children, and not only that, he even comes to you, darling, can you give me $200-300? I say, where's the money? I lost in gambling lah. So these are cases where the wife will say, hopeless fellow lah. Although I marry him, I'm paying for everything, I'm feeding him, although his pay is also equal to mine, I'm feeding him, and wretched. And if this fellow meets with an accident, what do? You go and see him. Apa si gua? You will ask, belum mati lagi kah? Not yet lah. But that one, you shiver and you cry. So anything that you love tenderly, sweetly, wretchedly, you are suffering. So now we are coming to these thought moments. Now I will have to take this out. So these sort of things, mind and matter is running at a very fast speed. More than 1 billion times during the flash of a lightning. Actually, the Buddha said it very well. Anyang upajati jitang, anyang jitang nirujati. In other words, this particular point arises, and when it disappears, another one arises. And when this disappears, another one arises. That's how it is run. And the Buddha can see so clearly, it is going on at this rate, so very fast. But it has got a system of running. It never jumps. It never says, when you are going to Kuala Lumpur, you have to pass through Taipei, then after that Ipoh. You cannot say, I want to go to Ipoh, then only I want to go to Taipei. Cannot. It has got its own sequence. You must follow this. So these things has been going on. So every time, remember when I said the 6 consciousness, this morning I told you, when you are born blind, when you are born deaf, when you are born no smell, no tongue, you miss all these things. Now I am giving you an example of just seeing consciousness. First, when you are sleeping, your mind is in Bhavanga state. Bhavanga state means unconscious. No knowing. But when a child gets up and says, Papa, 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 Mommy calls you. But because of the Papa, Papa and the beating, you wake up. The stimulus, you wake up. So this is called PB, past Bhavanga, vibrating Bhavanga, arrest Bhavanga. Because it's going at such a speed. So when it is such a speed, can you stop at that particular moment? Cannot. Stop at this point? Cannot. you naturally have to, Malay call it terlajak. Tahu tak? Faham tak? Terlajak. Such a speed. So these 3 points are called terlajak. Tas bawangga, vibrating bawangga, arrest bawangga. After the 3 things, then only the sense door. Eye door, ear door, nose door, tongue, and the touch. All ready. Object in front of you. So all the 5, get ready. That's called sense door. Sense door. And here I call it sense door. After the sense door, they found that, oh, this is an eye object. When it's eye object, it belongs to the eye. So this fellow goes to sleep. This nose goes to sleep. This tongue goes to sleep. This tactile body goes to sleep. The eye door stare at it. Huh? Who called me? Mommy called me? So, eye door consciousness arises. Eye door consciousness arises, and then the eye interprets. When he sees the child, interprets what? My child. Saying, Mommy has come, Mommy asked me to get up. So what is receiving consciousness is there. He hears the child saying, Mommy calls you. Investigating consciousness. Maybe I'm late for school. Today is office day. I've overslept. Ask me to get up. Investigating consciousness and deciding consciousness. Probably a rush for my towel and everything. I'm going to the bathroom. So all these things follow sequences. And then after this you go 1, 2, 3, there are 8 here. And this part we call you have no control. Now you are born because last time you were doing a lot of charity. Now when you are born, the moment you see this vibrating, then you sense door, then your eye door. Then you see, wow, a lot of food. Chi hong fan, ham ching ping, yang tofu, all in front of you. And what happened was, it is because of your karma. It is because of your vipaka. You have got so many things to eat in front of you, and you can choose. You like to eat all you can, but the stomach says cannot. So what happened was, you limit yourself, and you choose the best. And you choose, this one I want, that one I want, that one I think I cannot eat, I cannot eat. Even cannot eat also, you like to touch your stuff. So all these things, eye door will be there, receiving consciousness. When you see an object, the picture is formed in your cornea. And then on the cornea, the mind acts, investigating consciousness. So when it acts, then only action comes. You will find these things out. Once you have one mental picture, the mind concentrates on the mental picture and start the deciding consciousness. So all these 8 parts the Buddha they are called vipaka consciousness. Vipaka consciousness means they are the results of your previous action. Today you see good food in front of you, and the idol is enjoying the good food, and your receiving consciousness is picturing all the good food, and the individual, what I call investigating consciousness, say, something very nice, I'm also very hungry, and the deciding consciousness, I want this, I want that, I want this one I don't want, that one I don't want. But when you have no vipaka, you never do anything. Then the son, Papa, get up. Then you come up. Then you go to the table. Nothing but apung tose. Yeah. People have 7 or 8 things. Why am I just having apung tose? That is your vipaka. So today, every time when you see the man that comes near you, it is your vipaka. But there are two parts of a thought. The first contact is vipaka. And the Buddha said, you run away, you cannot. Today your vipaka is to see me, and I to see you. Cannot escape. You try to escape, cannot. Though all these are vipakas. After the vipaka, action comes. I want to eat all these things. Then you taste, oh, how beautiful, oh, nice. 7. So there you active side of life, you exercise your own free will. You want to have greed, or you don't want to have greed, you like to give to others so many things. 4 of us, I think you all take some of these things. And then if you are a kind-hearted person, I think the good things you take. I take the less good things. How do you give it? Because you have developed yourself. So you are able to give the good things to others. When you are not developing yourself, what do? All the good things I want, this one I want, that thing I want, nah, this one wrong chala. So, all these things, active side of life, you exercise free will here. When you are exercising free will, you are using energy, and this energy will give you vipaka. So you are liberated because of your 7 V's here. You are liberated. The next time you are going to have a lot of good food, because you are very charitable. But when you hear, you exercise selfishness. Vipaka comes, you see small things in front of you, and they are not tasty, they are not so pleasant. So you find that every time when you see, it is vipaka. I've got a friend, quite a rich man. A lot of people chase after him because very rich. But somehow or other, there's no taste, So one day he went to Singapore, and there was one supermarket girl, and he called, the moment when he see the girl's vipaka and he's also vipaka, he seems to like the girl, and they correspond and they marry. So he's your vipaka. And sometimes the one you choose is not the most pretty one, not so pretty, but you seem to be mad after him. You want me to attack? There was a case during the Buddha's time. A lady was looking at the man who was a robber, and he was being trashed. And on the way, this man is going to be executed. Yet, the lady who is a multimillionaire's daughter fell down and then told the servants, I have fallen in love with that person who is going to be executed. If I marry him, I will live. If I'm not going to marry him, I will die. Vipaka. If you want me to analyze, right? In a previous life, this man was the husband and that man was the wife. The husband was very fond of the wife was very fond of her husband. But the wife was going to the temple and giving dana, and he was going outside, sapu, all these things, churi or anything, illegal means. So he made a lot of money. But every time when he says that, what, darling, you're going to the temple. Nah, give you money. So that's how, when he was born, after, in that life, the wife was always going to the temple doing dana, born in heaven. This fellow was doing all the evil things, go down to hell. But what happened in hell? After 36 million years, this fellow come out and born as man. That fellow also in heaven, 36 million years, also born as man, expiry of his karma. So when they meet again, because of previous affinity, love at first sight. And so she married the man. What is the cause? Vipaka is the cause. But then conflicts come in. How? That man being a thief and this man being a millionaire's daughter. So what happened was, this thief was formerly a very good friend. So when they first married, very happy. After that, no, the man told the wife, I was going to be executed until you coming and rescued me. And when I was taken away, I make a wish that I'm going to do an offering to the mountain god. Please help me to escape execution. And I'm safe, so I'm going to the hill to make an offering to the Deva. And he said, told the wife, this is a special request. You also must come with me. But you must dress like a bride. And I must dress like a bridegroom. So what happened? The wife dressed like a bride with all the diamonds all around her body. And the man also dressed like a bridegroom, went to the top of the hill. But at the foot of the mountain, the man said, all the servants, you all remain below. We only will go and see the Tokong, God. And once on the top, what did the man do? Darling, I've come here not to make offering. I've made you put on all these jewelries because I want your jewelry. And I'm going to kill you because dead man tells no tale. So you see how conflicts have come in. How can a multimillionaire with all the diamonds and the thing is a thief, a thief. So what happened was, he told the wife, you have only a few minutes more to live. I'm going to push you down. So this side, Vipaka. Now the wife is coming to the V side. She knew, no chance. This man is going to push me down. So he told the husband, darling, when you were going to be executed, I fell in love with you at first sight. This probably was the previous karma. But now, I know today onwards, this is the last time we are going to meet. And normally when we are going to meet, let me give you a very reverencing around you. So you walk around the husband and the husband stand like that. Say, this is the hill. Alright, you can go around me. So the girl was pretending. So many lives I've been together with your wife. But today I know that this is the last of my life to be with you. I know that it is after this no more. So she pretended to hug the man and kiss the man. But having kissed the man, she got the thing so gripped, well gripped, that pushed the husband down. So, even that the Deva that stays in the hill shouted, well done, not only women have got courage, because she knew that she has to die. So she pushed down the husband and refused to go back to the father and mother. And she became a nun. Eventually this nun became an arahant. So she made use of these two things. So now all these things, every time when you see, when you hear, when you smell, when you taste, when you touch, the first contact is vipaka. Some people, somehow or other, they cannot, let us say, because some vipaka, Some of them cannot wear this cotton and everything. They want silk and all these things. It is because of the vipaka. All these things. Some of you might have got other things. So all these things come from here. After vipaka, two things register. And that's why every time when you have done something, you recollect. These two are registering things. But that is not all, you know. After seeing and registering, the mind starts to think. And when the mind starts to think, evil things arises. So you find that in this first portion, being a vipaka, the taste is neutral. Every time when you taste your food, it is the first contact is neutral. Every time when you hear a sound, it is neutral. Every time when you smell, it is neutral. Every time when you... I will say, seeing is neutral, hearing neutral, tasting neutral, smelling neutral. I will not come to touch. So when it is neutral, I'll prove to you when the first contact is neutral. How? If you take some medicine that is very bitter, then I will say to you, come take one. Then you find this shape very funny, then you put in your mouth. So first time when you touch your mouth, it is neutral. The second thought only, thinking has arisen. And that is called mind-o. The mind-o accepts the thing. But there is no receiving. There is no investigation. There is no deciding. Because the mind-o imagines that thing. The mind-o has got a picture of that thing. And then vipaka. And then this one, volition. Volition, that means they know what to do. So let us say, I've seen the shape of a girl. And it so happened that this girl is going to be let us say my wife. Now that I'm a monk, cannot say that, but imagine that I'm not a monk. I've seen this girl. The first contact is neutral when I see the girl. Just the shape of a girl. And then the second thought, wow, she got a guitar shape. Wow, she has got the guitar shape. Tam Chin Chi has arisen. Greed, hatred, delusion has arisen. Because when you have got idea that she is beautiful with all the shape, when you see an object and the shape is like a barrel, and then the mind says, like a barrel, no guitar shape, lao cable. There's no liking. Probably there's hate for that. And this thinking, every time when you see, or when you hear, or when you smell, when you taste, all these are neutral. But the mind starts to harp on it. The more you harp, the more misery you are going to get. How? When you see a girl, you close your eyes. Beautiful, guitar shape. When she walk also like that. And the voice so sweet. Each time one thinking. So beautiful. Greed is there. The voice so sweet. Another greed is there. When she walk with a sway, beautiful. The way she walks, so graceful. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes 5 or 6 thoughts. Sometimes not only 5 or 6 thoughts. When you go to sleep, you start to think again. And the whole night you cannot sleep because all this greed, hate, delusion is coming there. So you find that all these 5 senses, ear, and eye, ear, nose, tongue, and touch. All these things play havoc on your mind. As I told you just now, when you have no eyes, you don't see figures. When you have no figures, when you are non-blind, can I fall in love with any of you? Cannot. When you have no ear, can I know that very sweet sound? Cannot. When you have no smell, cannot. When you have no taste, cannot. And touch. Every time when you see an object, when your object touch you, there is no more neutral. There is either pain or pleasure. You will meet another girl, or somebody sits in a car, and then this man, let us say, is a white-nosed fellow. White-nosed means, you know, I chui chaboy lah. Then he saw the girl sitting next to him, and then saw the girl also pretty full. He also pretended to be sleeping and leaning. Then this girl, si kuya. You see, all these things are. Because one is greed, one is running away. But if the girl also enjoys the thing, there's also leaning, this also leaning, and then... So all these things have got vipaka, karma, and the thinking comes. And the thinking is either pain or pleasure. Why? The contact must be forceful. Seeing only surface, hearing only sound, nose only smell. But this, when the X drop down, adoy, very painful lah. The contact is direct. This global skill lah, global skill. That's how you see contact. So now I will teach you how to do pickpocket. You all like to learn pickpocketing, I will tell you how to do it. Now I'll take some girl. Alright, you help me. I want to learn. I will teach you how to pickpocket. Now this man is having $5,000 and he's going about with the $5,000 openly. Then I know this fellow is my next culprit. I'm going to catch hold of him. So what do you do? This fellow will walk. And then you have to use a girl. You go straight away and dash into him as hard as you can. And you do it when he's walking, and then you dash into him. Automatically, anger is there. See, kuya, why you do it, why you bang into me? But he will never say it properly. But when this girl, and after dashing into him and just oh, sorry, uncle, I never see you lah, please lah, sorry lah. Then he say, oh, little, never mind lah. When he say, never mind lah, I behind choke lah. And this gone, $5,000 gone. I distract the attention. Because every time he was very aware of that $5,000. When the girl dashed into him and the girl smiled at him and he also smiled back, all the attention was on the thing that smiled. That's the time I picked him. No sense of it. The attention was there. I've taken out the thing. So you need 3 persons to do pickpocketing. So you find that these things are, the 6 sense doors are playing the fool on you all. Havoc. Greed, hatred, delusion. Now you see taste, we saw already. When you see an object, sometimes you see a beautiful object. Wow, guitar shape. Then you chase. Then you saw somebody with a mustache. Tilaka. Why? You see the thing, greed has a reason. But when you see the thing, the mind will say, well, I got mustache, that is tilaka. Somebody putting on the lady's dress and then walk like that. So, greed, hate, delusion is arising. First already greed. Second is hate, delusion, or confusing coming. So you find the six senses are playing havoc on us. So this is called, you'll find that certain things you'll find that mind is very important thing. The mind always have an idea and then the body acts. But people who are not meditators, they think that the body is faster. When the mosquito bites, fuck. Oh yeah, today I keep my precept, why I kill this lah? Ah yeah. Then what did he say? Action is first. After killing the thing, then I know I've created wrong. And he said, action is first. But then, if you are a meditator, you will see. You will see what exactly you see. Itchy. Intending to scratch. Then the thing comes out to scratch. So you see the difference between meditator and non-meditator. Very clear, very nice. So when you go further and further, you are improving bit by bit. And when you are improving bit by bit, your vipaka will always be getting purer and purer. And when it is purer, it becomes your character. And when it becomes your character, it builds, that is called, you have built up you have refined yourself, you have whipped yourself, and you have more or less cultivated yourself or cultured yourself. And that is what we call this mind control. So with this I want to just give you a little talk. Every time when you see, when you hear, when you smell, when you taste, when you touch, the first contact is vipaka. Vipaka means the results of your previous action. And then how you react to this previous action, you create karma for future vipaka. If you love somebody, you are creating karma. Whether it's going to be good or bad, karma will follow up. So this is my introduction for tonight. With all that, I will open myself for your questions and answers. I hope you all have got plenty of questions to ask me. So I require just 1 minute of rest while you get ready your questions. Rolling. Please. The mind is always in the state of bhavanga. That means it is always arising and disappearing, arising and disappearing. Or you can call it your subconscious mind or your deep unconscious mind. There is no knowing. When there is no knowing, you must understand. Even although there is no knowing, there is object in your mind. And when there is object in your mind, you do not seem to know, it is because of the Buddha said, there must be at least, every consciousness has got 7 cetasikas or mental property. And this mental property 7, there will be no knowing. It's just like a motor car that runs on 12-volt battery and you put a 6-volt battery, you start the engine, it will never start the car, but you will make a sound, chuk. Then you open again, chuk. But it never starts the car. So you can call it, bhavanga means a subconscious or the deep unconscious state of mind. And although there is consciousness, there is object. You know, when you sleep, there is object in your mind. And what is that object? Before you were born, when you were about to die in your previous life, the last thought moment was the object. And it will continue to be that during your subconscious mind. When anything comes into the mind and you're fully conscious, then you say, real consciousness has arisen because there's an object, and you know. Any more? Come. Any more? Please. Vipaka and karma is this. When you go to the mountain and shout, "Akau, you bloody fool!" Then afterwards the echo comes, "Akau, you bloody fool!" Same thing you will come. That is karma, vipaka. Or action, reaction. You smile at me, naturally I will smile at you. And if you smile at me, I'm angry with you. Something is wrong somewhere. Either you're mental or I'm mental. So when you're smiling at me and I don't like the way you smile, you make it some sort like a grin. Something is wrong somewhere. So if you are kind, people will be kind to you. If you are charitable, the effect means you will be blessed with a lot of things. If you are killing, you will be loaded with short life. Some of these things are in the law of karma. Cause and effect is the cause, is the thing. Any more, please? Yes, subject to karma because of the present, previous action. Now I will tell you, I will give you some simile. Say I'm a rubber tapper. You know, normally I'm an Indian rubber tapper, and today is payday. And it's usually Indian laborers, when they get their pay, they will take a big bottle and go to the toddy shop, toddy shop. And they will bring a lot of toddy. And then you call the children, come, vanga, kudi. So all of you are my children, drink lah. Then some of you may be against the drinking. I said, no, vitamin, very good, drink. So I forced the children to drink. After some time, the children acquire the habits of drinking. So every day he is always booze. Drinking. Who was the cause? The father was the cause. And probably the father was the cause. So this child who was addicted to alcohol will be born with retarded and all these things. Especially when he is drunk, he will hammer the wife and the children. He will ill-treat the wife and the children. And then usually he is born very retarded. And then why am I going to be the father of this retarded child? Because I was the fellow who forced him to drink.